Hi, I'm Stephanie Link. I'm CIO of TheStreet and co-portfolio manager of Action Alerts Plus. Here with me is Colin Gillis, my good friend and expert technology analyst at BGC. We want to talk to you today about technology. Colin?
Well, that rally is sure going strong.
I tell you, it's been one of the worst groups year to date, and all of a sudden,
Boom.
It's on fire.
Yeah.
So talk about it.
You know, look, right, you've got great, strong cash balances. You've got good CFOs who are going out there and taking advantage of the low interest rate environment, putting on some debt, buying back shares. We've seen dividends being issued or increased. And enterprise spending is one of the few areas where you can have some safety. Now that being said, right, we're coming into earnings season.
Yeah.
Next week, right, we're going to get eBay, we get Yahoo, we get Google, we get Microsoft. And the concern is that we're close to peak margin.
So let me ask you a question. A lot of the reason why I've been bullish on tech and we've been kind of slowly building is because I expect cap spending to improve second half of the year. What do you think about that? Well,
we have to be careful about second half estimates. If you go and you look at some of the FactSet data that's out there, right, typically analysts tend to be more bullish in Q4 than actual results, right? So there is that concern that second half numbers are going to be too high. And again, we're going to get that look, in just a matter of days. So
what's your favorite one what's your top two ideas into earnings, and then which one are you most concerned about?
So, we still love eBay, right? And we love the fact that you get exposure to e-commerce, you get exposure to payments. There's this whole option that if PayPal gets traction in the offline world, that's a very large market. They're a leader in mobile.
Does it bother you that it's run a lot year to date?
No, it does not. Yeah, I still think it has legs. I think it's one of those names, that is, people still view it as a turnaround. The turnaround has happened. So if you also are concerned about the economy or a slowdown, it's a down market play as well, because you can buy new, you can buy used, you can buy refurbed, you can buy last year's season's items. So there's a much wider variety of merchandise than you would get off of an Amazon, whose multiple I really just can't stomach.
Can I get eBay in the low 50s? We used to be there. I sold it in the low 50s, bummed out about it, but do I get it back there?
We had it before the investor day.
Yeah.
It's if you look at the run that's happened since the investor day, right? That was at the end of March. That on earnings, if you get a pullback, right, because expectations are a little high, eBay is a nice, consistent name. It's not going to blow out numbers. They're going to beat by a penny, maybe 2 pennies if you're lucky. So if that's not enough for some of these momentum investors, you get that pullback, then I would definitely be in there and be buying it again.
So I want that phone call from you to pound the table. Microsoft one you actually recently downgraded.
Today, intraday.
Okay, so what's behind that?
Look, it's one of those things. The stock is up 5% over the last 2 days. I wanted to downgrade it while it was in the 30s. And the reality is look at the PC marketplace, right? The declines continue to accelerate. If you look at the growth in PCs, or I should say how that market is shrinking while tablets are exploding and smartphones are exploding, it's critical for Microsoft to be there, and there's just no real signs of material traction for the company in those two marketplaces.
Now, you've always been, because you were a bull when everybody was a bear, and you were right on the name.
Yeah.
And the one thing you pointed to was, okay, yeah, it's PCs, but there's other things that are happening at the company that we should get excited about.
Yeah.
Should we not get excited, or is it just priced in?
No, it's there. It's at my price target,
Yeah.
right? And so, either do you move your price target? No, I want to. Actually, I'm going to pull some of my numbers back a little bit on the weaker PC marketplace. Like, it has got a great enterprise business, right? It's got a decent consumer business with the Xbox. You will get that Xbox refresh in May. You will get a pretty decent June quarter because it's their fiscal year end. All the sales guys got to go out and make that quota, right? So June quarter is always pretty good. But in the March quarter, you get that EU fine, right? It's about $733 million. It's not factored in everybody's numbers yet, so that could make EPS look a little messy. People will try to strip it out, right? But in terms of the initial first look, right, it could look like earnings come in lighter than expected.
Fabulous. These are great ideas, both long and maybe not short, but maybe take some profits on the Microsoft. I like it.
Correct. That's
All
right. If we get back to that $27, $28 level again, then we might be looking at it some upside to our 31 target.
Great. Thanks, Colin.
Are we going to do this again?
We're going to do it every week, every Wednesday. Stay tuned.